Button. And welcome to episode 46 of the Beantown Banter podcast. I'm here with my cat, Junior. What's up? No, I'm Brady Gardner. He is Patrick Donnelly. Patrick, how's it going?
We are we're kind of focused away on our fantasy draft we got coming up here.
And I'm focused on this cat. This is fun. This is off-season broadcasting for you, folks. As the Red Sox get shellacked already by the Los Angeles Angels. Everything is great when we try to make it great. Because there's not a ton to feel great about right now in Boston sports, Patrick.
There is not.
No. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's just get it done and talk about your Boston Red Sox, who, biting the bullet here, folks, currently sit 6 games back in the wild card race. And I lost the page. Way more than that back in the AL East. It's not good, Patrick.
They stink. No two ways about it.
In the AL.
Huh?
Okay, at this point, you're closer to the Toronto Blue Jays at 29.5 games back than the Yankees, who lead the division. That's not good.
That's
so
not shocking.
Right off the AL East, the AL East is gone. Forget about it. Right now, it's unlikely that you even make the wild card at this stage. It's a painful time to be a Red Sox fan.
Indeed it is.
It really is. It's not good. And you look at this list of games that they have had since we last spoke. I mean, one win in the last... Well, okay, one win in August, by the way. It's the 8th. And one win since July 27th or 28th against New York. 8-game losing streak in there. And that really puts you out of it forever. That did you in.
Did.
So let's cover that, because we didn't talk about this weekend in New York. 4 games, including a day-night doubleheader, and just nothing positive to talk about with the New York series at all. No reasons to be happy.
None at all, really.
No.
I mean
you look at it. Go ahead.
Had that series against New York to start off this massive stretch we talked about, or did they start against Tampa?
It started against Tampa.
All right. Well, either way, they had those 2 series where they played lights out, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, we're back in this. Let's go. Right off the cliff.
That's right. And if you look at it, right, so you won the first series against Tampa 2-3, or sorry, 2 of 3. So you won the series 2-1. You lost the second series against Tampa 0-3, right? So they technically won 4 games, and you technically won 2 games. So they basically won both series. And then if you look at the Yankee series, you had 2 4-game series against the Yankees. First one, you won 3-1. You killed them in the first series, and then you lose the second one 4-0. So they have 5 wins in the series, and you have 3. Again, they basically won 2 4-game series against you.
Pretty much.
Just an ugly, ugly stretch that looked like it had so much promise in the beginning, and we were on cloud 9 in that Yankees series, and now it's just rock bottom. I don't know how it can get any worse right now, Patrick, with the Red Sox.
It can't.
It can't. I mean, even last night, right? You look at last night against the Kansas City Royals of all teams, and I don't even want to look at it, but if you look on the standings, how far are they? Okay.
They're like a minor league team.
3 worst teams in the AL. Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City. Yes, they are a glorified minor league team. They should be playing the Toledo Mud Hens. But regardless, last night against Kansas City, you almost blow the game. But instead, it's almost worse. You end up tied 4-4 going into the 10th inning after blowing the lead in the 8th inning. And a monsoon comes. You have to suspend the game. And so guess what? You're going to finish off the game, which could potentially be 1 more inning long, on August 22nd, which just happens to be an off day in which the team was supposed to be in San Diego. So they're losing an off day in San Diego, and instead they have to stick around at home and try to finish off a win against the Kansas City Royals. This is just rock bottom.
It is. And it's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for us to watch. It sure doesn't look like it's fun for them to be playing in it.
Yeah. So what is it? At what point did it become not fun? At what point did the whoa, 2018 Boston Red Sox, we're all fun, we win everything, yay. At what point did that become 2019 Boston Red Sox looking more like, the beer and chicken team of 2014 or whatever it was?
Right off the hop.
Yeah?
Right off the hop.
Really?
Right away.
They were just not having fun from the beginning?
Well, they started off terrible. And it was like we saw they were all right. So that first series against Seattle was miserable. It's cold, nobody's playing well, and then they go on for like 2.5 weeks of just not playing well at all, in the cold, in miserable. How's that fun?
Right, but you kept hearing like, "Hey, we're back." Like here come the 2018 Red Sox again. Alex Cora kept saying it. Like Vasquez was saying it in the locker room. You had all these quotes saying like, "We're coming back. We're gonna be the Red Sox." You don't hear any of that right now.
No, you don't.
No.
Because at that time, they still felt like they had plenty of time to turn it around. I mean, the Yankees were struggling. They were having injuries on injuries, and the Red Sox were relatively healthy, so they probably liked their odds. And here we are. The Yankees are just steamrolling. Same thing with the Rays, and they know they're out of it.
Yeah. I think if you're asking me, if I were to ask myself that question, I would say it became not fun at the trade deadline when they realized.
Yes.
Because that's when they realized, oh boy, no one believes in us anymore. And that's when it's gone really downhill. I mean, you look at whenever the deadline was, and they've won one game since then. Like, this is a dead Red Sox team right now, and they have no reason to feel good about themselves. They didn't get any help at the deadline from, the organization, and they haven't been good enough anyway. So we shouldn't be surprised with them trending downwards, but it's just hard to watch. It's a slow, painful death for the 2019 Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
So, not pretty. And right now they're taking on the LA Angels in games that they should be able to win. They're in the bottom of the first, so they haven't had a chance to blow it just yet. I don't know. I feel like we sound very negative, but this is just a hard time to be positive with your Red Sox.
What is there to be positive about? Because they're far and away outside, not far and away, but they're very much outside of the second wild card spot. They have to claw their way back into that.
Right.
And you end up in the second wild card spot, and you're probably going to lose that game unless they give us a reason to think otherwise, which they haven't.
Yeah, so let's say you win that game, you got to go into the Bronx and play a series there, or you got to go into Houston and play a series there.
Exactly, and we have no reason to believe that they're going to excel there.
Yes, I would put a big old X this season.
Yeah.
What a season.
Yes.
Play it out, maybe make it interesting. Maybe go on a little win streak just to tease us at the end. Just like a little bit of fun to go out with a bang.
No, get the draft pick. Your farm system's decimated.
They should tank?
I mean, they're not gonna on purpose, but...
Yeah. The funniest thing, too, here is that the team looked like they were getting hot going into the trade deadline. So there was, no chance at all that we were going to be sellers. It was like, all right, if anything, we're buyers. We ended up being, standard stillers. We did absolutely nothing at the deadline, which is a completely different little thing to talk about. But now, the way we're playing right now, we look like we could be 100% sellers if the trade deadline were to be tomorrow.
Yep.
So just unfortunate timing with these little streaks. And they got to start getting some streaks in the positive direction, get some W's on the board if they're going to make any run at this. And it's not going to be easy because you got some decent teams coming up, including Cleveland in a series this week that's going to be crucial. You got to get at least 2 wins against Cleveland, including a Chris Sale start there. Oh, boy. You got to hope that they're going to do something in those games, at least just to give you something to hold on to. Right now, their World Series championship odds, Patrick, what would you guess it is? Just off the top of your head.
1,000-1.
I meant a percentage, actually.
Oh.
What percent chance do they have? Sorry, I worded that badly.
35.
35% chance that the Red Sox win the World Series?
Yes.
What?
Are they higher?
No! It's 2%.
Wow.
That's what it was. I forget who it was. It was some kind of it was like odds people, but the way that it translated over, it was a 2%. 2% chance that the Boston Red Sox win the World Series with the way they are right now. And I think that's fair. 35% that they win the World Series, given how they are right now? Patrick!
Oh, my gosh.
Patrick!
I was close. No, I wasn't close at all in the actual odds. They're 60-1 right now.
Jeez. You're all over the board.
Worst odds are the Orioles 5,000-1.
You never know.
Or 50,000-1. 50,000-1.
It's a good bet to make.
I like that bet.
Book it.
Book that bet.
Yes. All right. So let's try to maybe look a little bit on the positive side, Patrick. That's what we're trying to do. Let's look on the positive side of changing things, of making positive adjustments to this team so that in 2020, you actually get back to where you should be. Xander Bogaerts just struck out again. Boy, is he cold right now.
Boy, is everyone cold right now.
Everybody's cold. Even the 13-year-old Rafael Devers is cold. Well, a little bit. He leads the league in hits now, by the way. So good for Rafi. Proud of him. Good little kid, that guy.
Dark season.
All right, so if you were to change something for 2020, what would it be, Patrick? Does anyone have to go? Do you need to bring someone in?
This is going to come as a shock to you.
Okay, hit me.
This is
He
going to
came
come
close to the camera, so he's
going to come as a real shock to you guys. I think the bullpen needs to be better next season.
Oh, God. It's not just the bullpen, though.
It's groundbreaking stuff, guys. Dave Dombrowski, I bet you haven't thought of this. I guarantee you have not thought of this. Or no, you didn't think about it until like July 1st. You let it sit for 8.5 months, and then you thought about it when it was too little, too late. No, I think it's as easy as the bullpen being fixed. Fix is such an easy word.
Yeah.
Just spend your money. You have plenty of money. The luxury tax should not be an issue for you.
Right.
Like,
okay.
I say this a lot with baseball. Why are you worried about the luxury tax? You have all the money in the world, and unless you're like the Orioles, you're gonna make money on the season. You're not gonna barely break even or even lose money. Like, come on. Holy cow.
I know.
It's just I'm lost for words.
Interesting. I think your bullpen's been okay. I mean, I know we don't do stats on this podcast unless they're directly fed to us on the Twitter machine. But I think if you were to look at the ERA for the bullpen in the last month or so, they'd be okay. I think the bullpen has not been your biggest issue. Your starting pitching has. And I think the guy that's got to go, if there's got to be a scapegoat here, it is your guy, Dave Dombrowski. Because he's the one who, if you look at it, it's been done and it has been a mistake in other places, but I'll get to that in just a second. He's the one who re-signed Chris Sale. How's he been this year? He's the one who re-signed Nathan Eovaldi. How's he been this year? He's the one who re-signed Steve Pearce. How's he been this year? Like, Dave Dombrowski getting all caught up in the 2018 Magic and making poor decisions for the franchise. I think if somebody's got to go, it's got to be him. He's only got a year left on the deal, so this time next year we'll be looking at new guys anyway. Maybe just get rid of him this winter and start fresh to begin with. I don't think Alex Cora is going anywhere. I think he's proven that last year, and I think he is still learning a bit this year, that's for sure. But I think he's worth keeping around, and obviously you're not going to make too many changes with the roster. Those may make themselves. Mookie Betts leaving. I think that David Dombrowski is just the clear guy that's got to go. I'm not saying now, but
that's
eventually.
Much easier said than done. I mean, we'll have a better idea once we go down the line towards the offseason, but who do you have as potential replacement?
Billy Beane. No, I don't know enough about GMs. I know there was like a Eddie Romero guy. Who is that? That's who Dan Shaughnessy has.
As the new
replacement. Yeah, that's who his early prediction is for the Red Sox.
Interesting.
But who knows? I mean, the damage has been done by Dombrowski. And if you look at it, there was an interesting article. I don't remember where. Whoops. But it was comparing the Royals to the Red Sox. And if you look at it, the Royals are just a few years ahead of where the Red Sox are right now. Because the Royals, had a really strong team. They won a World Series in 2016. And then they got crazy. And they re-signed Alex Gordon to crazy money. And, they tried to keep the band together. They couldn't do it. And now they're a completely, bottom of the barrel team. Alex Gordon's still running away out there because his contract is ridiculous. David back as anybody? Sorry, had to throw it there.
Milan Lucic. The list goes on for hockey comparisons.
Yeah, hockey is not great.
2016 free agency class will go down as the biggest bust in history. But yes, go on.
2016?
Yeah.
Wow, digging that one out. But yeah, the Royals, when you look at it and all the the comparisons that they made in that article, again, I really wish I knew it. Actually, I think I could pull it up real quick. It's scary to look in a few years, you could very quickly become The Kansas City Royals. Oh, it was a Globe article. Okay.
Short returns, it's actually a perfect comparison. Early returns so far. Like, so far this year, they were the best team in baseball last year. They won the World Series, and now they're terrible. Well, not terrible by Baltimore and Kansas City standards, but terrible relative to what we expect and what they should be.
Terrible considering a team with one of the top 3 budgets in baseball.
Terrible considering you have a top offense.
Yeah. They do have the top offense in the MLB.
Yeah, see,
Best
the
in the
top.
league.
I was a little hesitant on saying a top, but you know what? The top.
The Ohio State.
Yes, the Ohio State.
The top offense. It's true. I mean, just the numbers you see from this team, it's unfathomable that they have been so bad. But they have. But there's time. There is time, Patrick. I refuse to believe that there is not time. They have like 46 games left, I believe. If they go on a run, they can do it. Can they go on a run? Do you believe that this team has what it takes in them to go on a run?
No.
Me neither. I really wish I did, and it's all the optimist in me to try to say that they do, but I just don't see it. What would make you think that they could, the way that they're going right now?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. I think, again, this is me kind of fishing for things that I heard other places, but the Section 10 podcast had a high-quality stat there, and when they put together, like, teams that make the wildcard game have had an average of 91 wins, and to do that, the Red Sox would have to go 30-15 or something like that the rest of the way. Can they even do that? Can they win out of like 2?
No way.
I don't think they can win of 2 of every 3 games. I can't speak though.
No way they're doing that.
Right. The way they are right now.
No.
But there are winnable games on the schedule. There are also games against Minnesota and New York back-to-back that could get ugly. You got Tampa Bay late in the year. You got some challenging ones. Who knows? Who knows, Patrick?
I'm out on them.
This is low. But you know what, Patrick?
I'm so out on them. For a team that I barely watch, just the games that I've been to, the games that I've seen, they've been miserable. And they just don't even have the entertainment factor.
Well, they do.
Well,
they drag you along in games just to lose it at the end.
They do for half an inning.
Yeah.
And then the pitching comes out and you're like, oh, geez, what's going to happen here?
Yeah. If they only had to bat every single game, they'd win every game.
And you also have it in the back of your mind that, even when the offense is going well, like, you have it in the back of your mind that, like, oh, all right, well, when's the pitching going to blow this?
Yeah. It hurts to watch right now. So, we may be temporarily out on the Boston Red Sox.
Not temporarily.
You're all the way out. I'm
all the way out.
I'll be like middle of the road out. 60, 70% out. I'm not totally out. I'm just kind of out. But
just save yourself from the heartbreak. You're totally out.
Okay. Just let me do this amazing segue, please. All right?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know you were doing amazing.
I am very in on Patrick. Start their season tonight. The New England Patriots. Well, yeah, the fake football season. New England Patriots start tonight in preseason against the Detroit Lions. Kickoff is in a couple seconds. This is it, Patrick. Football is back. Kinda.
First week in September.
Yeah. But what do you think? Before I get into a couple of notes, do you have any immediate thoughts on the Patriots?
Kind of just the same thing we've said all offseason where, we haven't really said this. We've kind of just implied it. Like, we're excited for everything else, but very worried about the tight end spot.
Yes.
Very, very excited to watch this team. I think it's going to be a good team. Like, the defense, we could be talking about historically good, especially in the backfield. Or not the secondary, excuse me. It's been a while.
Yes.
Like, we could have we're talking, like, based off, this is obviously based off preseason and reputation from last season, especially Stephon Gilmore, but we could be talking about, like, best in the league secondary.
Yeah. This defense could be very good and very young, which is exciting. Yeah. This is one of the youngest teams in the Belichick era. Did you know that?
I think I saw that somewhere.
Yes. So that's exciting to think about because you may have a 42-year-old quarterback who we will talk about in just a couple seconds, really. But you got a young team around him, and that's good to see. That's transferring. That's handing the torch. Important.
I would love to know the average age of the team, and then take out Tom Brady, and then have the average age of the team after Tom Brady's taken out.
It's one of those like outliers.
Yes.
When you're trying to put together your handicap, and then you have like that one day that was just awful.
Yes.
I wouldn't know. I'm just awful every day.
I wouldn't have a handicap. I just guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I would think you would. You like take it seriously, you know?
I do take it seriously, but I do not. I don't belong to a club, so I don't have a pro to submit my scores to. But I guess I could through work.
I guess that's true. Interesting. Well, that was fun.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
I
thought you said I have a little. Sorry.
No, I said that was a nice little sidebar.
That was a good time. But that's okay. We can afford those when there's zero news to come from our next two teams.
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of zero news, I mean, I mentioned briefly the 2016 free agent class. So I mean, that could be our hockey minute. I could just list the terrible contracts, and we could just laugh at those teams, including the Bruins, and that can be the end of it.
That sounds like fun. We might take you up on that. We'll see how we are on time.
That'll take you back through time. Some of the names I will hit. Troy Brouwer. When was the last time you heard about Troy Brouwer?
Wow. Okay. That reminds me of Troy Brown, which reminds me of the New England Patriots. Woo!
What a segue.
That was great. Tom Brady is in the news for not great reasons, Patrick. First thing he does, and we'll take it chronologically. First thing he does is gets an extension. An extension. Tom Brady extended for the next 3 seasons. He'll play in New England until he's 45. He'll get a pay raise every single year. Everything's awesome. But it's not. Until you read the fine print and you realize this contract becomes void after this season. So old Tommy over there can say, you know what? I've had enough. See you later. And he can be completely done with the Patriots this time next year.
Or completely done with football.
Or completely done with football. Yes, it can go either way. But the more concerning thing is that he just moved. Or he's trying to move. He's sold, or, sorry, I'm jumping the gun on these. He put his current house up for sale in Brookline. His nearest house is in New York City. And for a guy who has been so family-oriented, all of a sudden he has to work in Foxborough, and he's getting rid of the house that's nearest to Foxborough? That's weird. Like, is it football or family? Is he going to leave the family to go to the football? Well, what's the dealio with Tom? Or is he going to be like, I guess Drew Brees does, and like take a shuttle back and forth, New York to Foxborough here, and watch film along the way? Like, what's going on with Tom? What is going on?
So obviously with the amount of money in that family, I don't think money is any object, and I don't see it being an issue finding another house in the area.
That's right.
I'm sure it's just a classic move. Obviously not classic because I'm sure it's just moving houses.
Oh, really?
I think all right. There can always just be a simple story. Like we as right now, us as amateur media and we see as professional media, always creating the bigger picture story.
True.
And what's the end game? It was like the guy could just straight up be moving.
Yeah, we kind of fall into that trap as sports fans, especially Boston sports fans. That is true.
He could literally just be moving. And we don't know if that's it because say the final sale on the other home isn't official yet. Yeah,
that's a good point. And I'd like to think of it that way, so maybe I will choose to think of it that way. But it just concerns you a little bit when you see like the timing of this, because first, he gets the contract and he doesn't seem to love it. He's talking with the media like, oh yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll readdress it in the offseason. Like, Tom, I thought you just got your money. Apparently, it's not all as good as it looked like it was. And now he's trying to move. So what's the deal? It's a little bit scary there with Tom. And of course, anytime that we hear about Tom Brady potentially not being the Patriots, we sound all the alarms, because in our lifetime, Tom Brady has been the Patriots quarterback all but one season, I believe, with Drew Bledsoe. It's a scary thought to not have Tom in Foxborough, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it potentially.
There's the option of it, like, right. Well, everyone's saying the technicality. Oh, it becomes an unrestricted free agency. What if it's just retirement?
Interesting.
At this age, that's very much a possibility. That's just retirement.
But if he's so into TB12 now, isn't his biggest branding strategy if he continues playing football? Especially after he's said for so many times, I'm going to play Tom 45. I'm going to play the 45.
Or
happy birthday, Tom, by the way. 42 years old.
Yes, happy belated Tom. Or he wants to have a more hands-on role in TB12, devote more of his time to that.
Interesting. All right. Well, this will be a story to continue updating. But as of right now, he continues to be the sixth highest paid quarterback in the league, right around the same mark as Drew Brees, which is nuts that those two are only at number 6. But at this point, Tom, it's just like, what?
Help your team win. What are the Packers doing? What are the Seahawks doing? Like,
Sure.
What are the Lions? What are the Raiders doing? I mean, the Raiders might actually be decent this year, but like, come on.
The money is only an ego boost for Tom right now. You know, like you said,
Tom
they're fine.
doesn't care about the money. He's already been outspoken saying like, "Oh, my wife makes a ton of money," and he has Under Armour. He has TB12. Money is no issue for that man.
Right. Well, it just feels like he has the leverage now for sure.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
It might be no. He's pretty much always had the leverage, but like for sure, like this time there's 100% leverage. Like there's no Bill being like, all right, we'll just replace you. We don't need you. Like, because, like, really, there's no viable option. Like, he leaves next year, and all right, you start Jared Stidham, and you just tank for the year and hope you get Trevor Lawrence or Tua Tagovailoa. I think I said that right. I hope I said that right. Tua, whatever his last name is.
Yes, Tua Tag. Well, Patrick, Stidham may actually be better than we think. He may be more NFL ready than we believe. There was, I believe, Jeff Howe was on the radio earlier with some of the 98.5 guys, and he was saying that currently Jared Stidham looks better than Jimmy Garoppolo looked when he was this age.
Okay. Okay. No.
You don't believe that?
No.
But Stidham's always been a great guy in like 7-on-7. It's just when he gets into these actual game situations that he tends to struggle a little bit more, which is what they're in right now.
Has to try hard.
Yeah, when he has to try, he struggles.
Or it's when he's actually like playing against people who are also actually trying.
That too.
It's kind of like the 18-year-old you just drafted who's doing amazing in preseason. It's like, all right, come on. Unless like, I don't know. What was he, a 4th-round pick?
Yes, he was.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. 4th-round pick. He didn't have the glossiest numbers, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, he didn't.
No, it wasn't the glossiest numbers. He certainly wasn't our guy. We never gave him any thought. I don't know. I'm gonna have to let him prove it to me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that he should take the reins right now. I'm not saying like.
No, I'm not even saying you should take the reins next year if there is no Tom.
Oh, correct. But I do think he kind of makes things a little bit easier for you roster-wise, because if it's true that this guy is worth investing time in and money, and you want to keep a roster spot, you want to keep him on the roster, then if he's actually like somewhat NFL ready, maybe he can be your number 2 guy instead of keeping around Brian Hoyer for the emergency snaps. You know? Because then you can save a roster spot. You can keep one of these thousands of wide receivers it feels like they've been working out, and maybe that helps things out. So I think Stidham showing well is a good sign. I'm not saying it means that he's the next guy for sure, because who knows? It's way too early to predict that. Because we thought Ryan Mallett was the next guy. Remember him? Oh, boy. But if he's good enough to at least stand a chance if he has to go into a game, at least make him be back. That's something. So that's interesting news on Jared Stidham. Not a ton else. Josh Gordon has applied for reinstatement, so your guy may be back with the Pats very soon.
Love it.
You don't hear much on the Patriots side of that, and for good reason. I think they kind of just want to stay away from it until they know that they have him, and they have him permanently. But that's kind of good there. A little progress.
I mean, well, the Chiefs didn't keep quiet, and they still have Tyreek Hill. I don't know. Tyreek Hill's in the league. Josh Gordon isn't. Whoa.
Yeah, let's stay away from that one there. But yes, I think you're right. It's a little interesting.
Adrian Peterson's in the league. Josh Gordon isn't.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Anyways, back to the Tom Brady point, kind of.
Yep.
I was thinking, all right, outside possibility. Say Tom retires or walks. I don't believe walks happens. I think if he leaves, it's retirement.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was thinking about, all right, what would unrestricted free agents look like? And I also thought to myself, like, this is a little bit of a sidebar to the sidebar.
Okay.
When was the last time we had like a marquee free agent signing that was a quarterback?
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't he? You've had one quarterback since Drew Bledsoe, so that's
not specifically to the Patriots. Not specifically to the Patriots. Like in the league.
in the league. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I guess you're right. I mean, aside from him, though, I'm probably just having a terrible.
Killing me here.
I'm probably just having a terrible memory here.
Probably Brett Favre.
Anyways, I mean, like, so we look at this quarterback free agent class for next season.
You just made my brain explode. Probably Sam Bradford, actually.
Yeah, I guess.
He was a marquee quarterback at one point.
All right, so 2020 quarterback free agent class.
Oh boy.
Tom Brady.
I need to pop some pineapple juice.
Tom Brady. Drew Brees. Eli Manning. Phil Rivers. Teddy Bridgewater. James Winston. Marcus Mariota. Chase. It just goes off a cliff. So really, I mean, the only route for the Patriots would be, if there's no Tom, would be Sidham or Hoyer. Maybe Danny Etling. Or trade.
Yikes.
Big yikes.
Big yikes. That does not make you feel good about your situation. In other news, Patrick.
It kind of does
make. This is breaking news.
Breaking news. Are the Red Sox
breaking news? Jermaine Kearse is being carted off the field at Patriots Lions. 3 minutes into the game, leg in a full cast, left leg, and being carted off.
That is tough.
I assume you know Jermaine Kearse, right?
Yeah, he's with the Lions. Correct. Jermaine, he made that ridiculous catch on Butler.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
I still hold a grudge against Deron Harmon for that.
He should have just kicked it.
He should have just batted it out of bounds. Should have kicked it, batted it, whatever. He just jumped over them.
Whatever. They won the game. All right, it's okay.
I know, but you're not in that spot. It's a little bit of a pettiness thing.
All right. So there's your Patriots thoughts. I mean, they're playing the Lions right now, and we're going to save our analysis on this game, obviously, for next week. I do think it's cool that they got to play the Lions in preseason, and I don't know if they decided that, if like the NFL decides that or what, but they've been able to do joint practices with Matt Patricia and the Lions, which I'm sure is good for Patricia to be able to work with Belichick kind of from the other side now. And I do think it's good for the Patriots, too, to kind of have a guy in Patricia there that is going to listen to every single thing Belichick says. I think Belichick probably ran those joint practices almost single-handedly, especially considering Patricia's on an ATV right now. Have you seen that?
He's on.
He had like a leg surgery, and now we just like ride a four-wheeler all over the place. It's amazing.
Wow.
Okay. So that'll do it for the Patriots for now. And now we'll spend approximately 30 seconds talking about the other teams.
There is no Celtics news other than Kemba Walker throwing down a dunk.
He did?
I believe so.
And what is he, 4'11"? I can't talk, but he's not a big guy, so that's kind of cool. I hope he doesn't hurt himself. And they're calling, of course, Smart, Brown, Tatum, and Walker Team USA's Green Monster, a Boston quartet that could take on the world. Okay, Brian Windhorst for that article. But that's nice, the four of them getting to play together a little bit early here on Team USA. That'll do it for Celtics news. How about the Bruins, Patrick?
There's currently no Bruins news.
Oh, good.
That I know of. I mean, it's just been so slow. We're still holding out hope that they find a way to sign children. Help the children, please.
Help the children.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough times out here for the Bruins. The dead of the offseason. They got time now.
Speaking of the NHL.
Oh boy.
We want to run through that 2016 free agent class.
Give me like the top 5. Let's keep it brief here. I don't know if there's a real market for 2016 free agent talk now.
All right. Well, Let me
While you look it up, I'm gonna do a quick Bruins. Quick Revolution minute.
I'm trying to find a retrospect article instead of me trying to pick them out through Cap Friendly.
Should I do a Revs minute?
No, I got you.
Okay, go.
Unless no, you can go for it if you want.
Okay, fine. New England Revolution finally saw their unbeaten streak come to an end, and I was wrong last week. I said they had 10 games unbeaten, and they were going for a club record 11th. I was wrong. It was 11 unbeaten. They were going for the record 12th. So my apologies on that one. I'm sure the Revs fans will really come after me, all 10 of them. But LAFC did get the best of the Revs at Gillette Stadium. I was there for it. I was there for the end of the historic, almost, streak. And you got to say LAFC is just out of the Revs league right now. They're just a much better team, and that kind of showed you the Revs, while they have come a long way, are still not really at that tier. But that's to be expected. It is what it is. Revs now go on to play the Seattle Sounders out in Seattle on Saturday. And so it'll be fun to watch them again. The Revs train is still very much in motion. They still sit solidly in 7th. Good thing I didn't have a list because that would have been an impossible sentence. They got 33 points. They're tied for Montreal Impact for 6th place. So the Revs train still very much in full stride. Just a little bit of a hiccup there against LAFC. That's all. Back to you, Patrick, with some NHL stuff to laugh about.
So I have about 6 guys.
Give me 6 guys.
Marquee free agents.
Let's do it.
Who hit the market in the summer of 2016.
Yes.
And really, it was supposed to be one of the best free agent classes in recent memory.
Supposed to be.
Money up the wazoo. The cap had gone up just a little more than they thought, and teams had some money to play with. The Bruins had some guys that they lost. Loui Eriksson was one they lost. They had some guys they brought in. David Backes was one they brought in. But let's get to these guys. All right.
Do it.
Oh,
this is our national news for the day.
Starting off the hop, Milan Lucic. He freshly off a 20 goal season with the Los Angeles Kings. 20 goals, 35 points, 35 assists, 55 points. Certainly a tick up from his last season in Boston and more to what people were expecting out of Milan Lucic. At the time, this was 3 years ago. At the time, Milan Lucic was 28. He was in his prime. It made total sense. The Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid, just off his rookie season, got a little banged up by Brandon Manning, missed half of it with a broken collarbone.
Jeez.
They're like, perfect. We have a power forward to put on Connor McDavid's left side. Him and McDavid are going to light it up, and he's going to protect McDavid.
Woo!
Good old Pete Chiarelli comes in 6 years, $6 million. 7 years, excuse me. 7 years, $6 million, a full no movement clause for the first 5 years with a modified no trade, no movement for the last 2.
Ew.
And so Lucic gets the deal. All right, he comes off 55-point season. Year 1 in Edmonton, 23 goals, 27 points, 27 assists, 50 points. Exactly what you're expecting. Couldn't have gone better. You're paying for that $6 million right there. Next year, 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points.
Oh.
And the stat line doesn't look horrible until you consider the money you're giving him and the eye test. The eye test certainly does not look good. Last season, 6 goals, 14 assists, 20 points, and the eye test is even worse. They finally got the Flames. They finally found somebody to take the contract. It was the Flames. So there's that one.
Okay, can we just get names for the next guys, please?
Fine. All right, Loui Eriksson.
Yes.
I'll go through this. I won't do the whole.
That was to Boston, wasn't it?
I won't church it up. I'll just give the cap hit and the numbers since.
Thank you.
Loui Eriksson coming off 30 goals, 33 assists, 63 points with Boston. Boston's like, all right, he's our own rental. We're going to try and keep him. He lights it up. And Vancouver comes in. They're like, all right, look at what this guy did in Boston when he was healthy. 6 million or 6 years, $6 million. Full no movement clause first 2 years, full no trade clause middle 2 years, and then a modified no trade the last 2 years. And since the signing, he has done jack squat. He got 24 total points in the following season, followed by 23 and 29 last season. And not only does the eye test or the stat line not look great for a $6 million man, he does not like the coach and wants to be moved.
Oh, gosh.
Now we have Troy Brouwer. When was the last time you heard that name? He's coming off It was the quintessential power forward coming off 21 goals, 22 points, or 22 assists and 43 points with Washington 2015, followed by 18 goals and 39 points with the Blues. So all right, this is going to be a solid middle six player. It's going to be great for us. Calgary comes in with the 4 years, $4.5 million, full no trade clause first two, modified no trade clause last two. And my God, does he fall off a cliff. Goes 25 points, 22 points, and then last season they finally got Florida to take the contract. He only 21 points, and now he does not have a team. They bought him out. Oh no, they bought him out. They bought out the last year of his deal.
Yikes.
Franz Nielsen with the Islanders coming off a great.
How many more do we have?
2 more after Nielsen.
Oh God.
Hey, this is the dog days of summer.
It really is.
This is the dog days of summer.
Okay.
Coming off a career year with the Islanders, or close to a career year, 20 goals, 32 assists, 52 points, second highest career point totals. Detroit's like, all right, we need a second line center behind Dylan Larkin. What can we give you? Detroit comes in for 6 years, 5.25, full no movement, for 2 years, followed by 4 years of modified no trade. Since signing in Detroit, Franz Nielsen, 41 points, followed by 33, and then 35. And you're paying this guy top dollar, or close to, or middle tier dollar for a lower tier production. Andrew Ladd, making 5.5 with the Islanders for 7 years. He's in the 4th year of it right now. This coming season is 4th year. Coming off an okay season. Islanders come in, and they're like, all right, we're going to give this guy plenty of dollars. 31 points, 29 points, 11 points. And he's sent down to the minors for a little bit last season.
Ew.
Then we have Kyle Okposo. Same thing, great year with the Islanders. 22 goals, 64 points. He's easily a mid-20 goal, 60-point guy at that point in his career. Signs with Buffalo. I believe it is 6 years, $6 million, with a no movement clause first two, modified no trade last 4. And since signing, 45 points, 44 points, 29 points. Not even close to matching his totals.
Yikes.
And that is the headliners, and not in a good way, of the 2016 NHL free agent class.
Well, that was riveting.
And we forgot our good friend David Backes. That we already know about him, though.
That was 2016.
That was 2016. Originally reported as a 1-year deal with the Bruins. Everyone was ecstatic. 1 year. That's perfect. 6.
6 whopping years.
With a full no movement.
That's ugly. You know what else is ugly, Patrick?
No movement. Oh, now he's entered a modified no trade, and it's 5 years. Pardon me. But anyways, still bad, nonetheless.
All right, something else that's bad.
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Tiger Woods +4 on the day at the Northern Trust PGA Tour tournament. Is that what it's called? Whatever. The Northern Trust tournament, formerly the Barclays, in the New York City area. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Boston is
at Liberty National, Tiger imploded to a +4. The irons are what really killed him, according to GC Tiger Tracker on Twitter. Thank you.
It's shocking because he's the best iron player of all time.
Well, not right now with the way that back is, and that back is. He's tied for 116th on the day, and he went out at 7 a.m. and was somehow dead last until like noon. So it's not pretty for Tiger, and I did wonder, Patrick, maybe you know more about this than I do. Why is he playing in this tournament?
Playoffs.
What does that mean?
It's the FedEx Cup playoffs. There's now 3 legs of it since they chopped off the 4th one. Boston got gypped out of the tournament. Boston is not getting the Dell Technologies.
Really?
Aside from every other year, because so you may remember Tiger won the Tour Championship last year around late September, early October, that range, before the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
So it used to be regular season went till the end of August, then you had September for the playoffs, and it was 4 legs. You had started off with the Northern Trust, formerly the Barclays. Then you went to Boston, TPC Boston for formerly the Deutsche Bank, now the Dell Technologies. And then you went to the BMW, or swap the BMW and the Dell. Either way, and then you had the Tour Championship at East Lake in Georgia. Now to compete with the NFL and ratings, obviously because final rounds are Sunday afternoons, They chopped the season a little bit. Playoffs push up to August, and there's only 3 legs. That way, you're done by week 1 of the NFL. So now you just have the BMW, which I guess alternates every year with the Dell, and the Tour Championship.
Interesting.
And it sucks Boston got gypped out of the tournament because now the closest tournament on the circuit is the Travelers in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Which
all right. Yeah, so this is the playoffs of golf.
Yes, the FedEx Cup playoffs.
And it's 3 weeks.
Yeah, so, speaking of the playoffs, so it's, I think it's top 125 in the FedEx Cup standings make it to the first round. Then it chops down to top 70, I think. Then it's top 50. Then it's top 30, I believe.
Wow.
So last year, Tiger pretty much won the Tour Championship in the best of the best of that season of the PGA Tour. And so the changes they made this year, not only is it shorter, but at East Lake, the number 1 point getter in the FedEx Cup, because it's a point system, is starting the tournament 11 under par.
Sheesh.
Followed by, I think 2 and 3 are 10 under par, and it's just like a trickle down, which is outrageous.
That is crazy.
That's what sort of gimmicky crap is this? This is the PGA Tour. Anyways.
Interesting. Okay.
It's more me being bitter about not having an event in Boston because the Deutsche Bank was awesome.
Did you go to it?
I went once. It was in I think it was 2016. It was either 2016 or 2017. I went on day 2. Followed Rory and Tori. Followed Rory and Tony Finau. Shook Rory's hand, gave him a high five, and shook his hand. I'm not saying after I gave him a high five, but he was struggling for the first few holes, gave him a high five, and he went on a run, won the tournament, and then ended up winning the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup 2 weeks later. So not to say I changed his fortunes, but
changed his fortunes.
I changed his fortunes.
Well, I'll one you up with that one. And when I was like 7 years old or something, my family went to TPC Boston. Old Tiger was up there. And so, like, obviously it was all mobbed right up to the ropes to watch Tiger play. This is like 2007. Like, this is good Tiger.
This is peak.
This is peak Tiger. This is solid Tiger. All right? And so, like, right up to the ropes. And somehow we were, like, on the ropes, I guess. But my brother and I were getting, like, crowded out because we're little squirts at that age. Still little squirts now a little bit, but whatever. And so the usher guy's like, mirror. And so we go under the rope and just sit down on the grass on the tee box.
That's the move with little kids.
And then, like, Tiger's right up there and just whoop.
See, I was like 16. It was my first event ever I'd gone to. So yeah. it was still pretty sick. That
is very cool. But, yes, that was pretty cool. And I wish I remembered it more because Tiger, I didn't realize it at the time, but he had to go. Anyway.
It.
Right now, leading at Liberty National is Troy Merritt.
Never heard. Who are you?
He's 9 under through 1. Dustin Johnson right behind at 8 under. And then Kevin Kisner and John Rahm tied at 7 under. Those make up your top 3, although actually 4.
Look out for Kevin Kisner.
Cheeky.
And a bunch of guys tied T5. Finau, Webb Simpson, Rory, Justin Rose. Right. Honestly, this is what we like in the playoffs because, honestly, they're not majors, but they're stacked fields because they're obviously the top players in the standings, and they're top players for the reasons. And they're usually the top players in the world. Right. And we like stacked leaderboards. And that is a stacked top 10 outside of Troy Merritt. I've never heard of you.
Yeah.
You go Johnson, Kisner, Rahm, Finau, Webb, McIlroy, Rose. We've already said that. Max Homa jumping on the scene. Patrick Reed. And then you have Danny Willett out of the clouds. Won his Masters and then just fell off the face of the earth. And you get Russell Knox, Patton Kazire. And obviously this golf people know this. HV3, Harold Varner III's in the mix. It's a stacked leaderboard.
It's a very stacked leaderboard.
See.
Speaking of stacked leaderboards, and all these amazing segues that I'm coming up with, I'm literally on fire with segues.
Oh, I'm up.
What?
I'm up next on the fantasy draft.
So I was going to ask about that. How's the leaderboard looking on your fantasy draft right now? Patrick's middle of the fantasy draft, everybody. It started at 8 o'clock. It's now 8:03. I got his pick coming up.
So my options here, because I draft again in 3 picks. So we have Ezekiel Elliott.
Yep.
But he was ranked 4th, and nobody's taken him because he doesn't have a contract.
Don't take him. That's like Le'Veon Bell last year. Everybody took Le'Veon Bell, and it was useless.
I'm not taking him. So we got after Zeke, we go Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon. We got to go Todd Gurley.
Oh yes,
that's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
And then I'm up again. So this is pick 10 right now, pick 11, and then I'm up again at pick 12. We have Julio, Melvin Gordon, Kelsey, Mixon, Odell, Tyreek Hill. I think I got to go wide receiver next.
Odell.
If Odell's up, I'm gonna take Odell. I can't get another running back, unless I take Travis Kelce.
Is this a PPR league?
That is a great question.
See, this is like national news right here. We're doing some national news, fantasy football. That's topical. We're appealing to the audiences right now, Patrick.
Let me text the commish right now. PPR question mark.
Brandon Bolden, a very blonde Brandon Bolden, is breaking ankles, by the way. Brian Hoyer in the shotgun, lead in the charge.
All right, it is PPR.
It is. So wide receiver could be the move early on, and a guy who catches a lot of balls.
So Julio Jones is off the board. So it looks
Todd
like...
Gurley doesn't catch balls, by the way.
Huh?
Todd Gurley doesn't catch passes.
I'm aware.
Something to think about.
Well, I already picked him. It's too late.
Oh. Oops.
So I'm up next. So far, we have Melvin Gordon.
We're snaking.
Travis Kelce, Joe Mixon, who catches passes. Melvin Gordon is still up. I don't know who this kid just took. Who did he take? One second. I need to find.
Brady.
Oh.
Aaron out Hoyer. Ooh, a diving catch. N'Keal Harry just got a diving catch on the sideline.
James Conner, give me a break.
Oh God.
All right. Melvin Gordon, Travis Kelce, Joe Mixon, Odell, Tyreek Hill. I mean, I just gave Tyreek Hill a ton of grief, but I mean, you got to take the best available.
You do. That's not good.
It's a real tough look for me.
It's a real tough look for you.
It's a real tough look for me.
Alrighty.
Or take a flyer on Zeke.
No.
Maybe if he's still standing a couple rounds down the road.
If it's a PPR league, take a wide receiver, please.
All right.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, world, but I mean, I got to do what's best for the team. Tyreek Hill. I'm so sorry, world.
There's our NFL news covered. Is there any other news you'd like to get to, Patrick?
No.
Me neither. This is quality offseason content, though. We are hitting all the bases, all the random ones too. So that's good.
Correct.
I think that just about does it then.
I think it just about does it. Unless, we're not going to make him sit through this entire draft.
No.
That'd be tough.
That'd be tough. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Again, sticking just about under the hour mark. That's what we're shooting for. We're trying to keep it under the hour. And, the Patriots just got a touchdown. Maurice Harris, Patrick.
Wow.
I like that guy.
Also, N'Keal Harry wearing 8. That's going to change.
Yeah, it'll change. Oh, he was held, too. Pass interference, one-handed grab, back in the end zone, Maurice Harris. Your first touchdown for the Patriots. They take a 6-0 lead, about to be 7-0. And that's a great way to end it. That is just a nice little bit of news to end it after we struggled with some bad news from the Red Sox, who are currently winning, by the way, against LA. So maybe things are looking up here in Whoville, Patrick. Or Duloc. I don't know what musical I'm referring to. Wow. That'll do it. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please let us know if you did. And that's it. Thank you guys. See you next week.